I wanted to just put that out as a starting point. Put your hands up if you agree too many children now go into care.
You cannot have a good child protection system without a good society. And we need to be saying that strong and hard. If the children's services can be better funded, it will give them more time. If their support services, they can engage with families. It is a whole system that needs changing.
Most social workers, when they go into the profession, want to build effective relationships to help families. And for some reason, that changes. And we need to think about why that changes.
I think that there's huge distrust amongst the public now, and I think that the lack of confidence is really dangerous because it means that people are very reluctant now to approach for help.
It brings me onto that broader sense of, public perception of social workers, which is what I've sort of spent the decade trying to address in my academic work and moving around the country talking to social workers. And we simply haven't done anything to change that public perception of social workers.
It's in and out with social workers changing, risk goes up, risk goes down, and family loses control of a sudden they're involved in, people telling them what to do and how to parent, and the risk of their children being removed begins to be, spoken about. Yeah. That's what that vortex looks like.
Quite chaotic vortex was quite a good one, because I think that's quite interesting after when I speak to other social workers. The idea of that vortex is really clear, and they kind of want to escape it with the clarity of court proceedings. It's like a bit of a relief to get out of that chaos and go into something that's a really clear process with kind of proper processes and forms that you have to fill out which make you feel like you're making quite clear progress with a case, and it's not kind of all over the place and you're not relying on services that don't exist, you're relying on the court system or whatever.
I randomly bumped into my social worker the other day and she's absolutely terrified of me. She literally, her lips started shaking, her body started, and she started getting tears, but obviously I'm a nice person, so I gave her a hug, calmed her down a little bit, do you know what I mean? But I think the difficulty is that, when I was dealing with the case, it was very much the other way around, do you know what I mean? And going through the court process, you're totally out of control. It's a whole different language, completely different jargon. So yes, it might make it easier for social workers to understand and see a clear process and see where they're going with this, but for family members, you actually lose complete control at that point. As soon as it goes into court, I'm not a bad person, I've never been a bad person, but at that time, if you read my file, I probably look like the worst mother in the world. But it's just life, it's the way we all make mistakes, we all make bad decisions. And I was having a conversation earlier that actually, majority of people that have children, if we're gonna start, really scrutinising and really looking into it, I think that probably a good 80% of this country wouldn't have their children if they were to be looked into the way that my family was looked into.